cannot believe I'm talking about this on the internet. It's so obvious that you got a boob job. The fact that I even have to prove this is ridiculous. I don't even think I can say this online. No creo que sepas hablar español. You have never worked a day in your life. I don't even know if I'm ready to film this video. The heat in my house hasn't been working recently, so don't mind me if I spend this entire video wrapped up in this blanket. We're gonna get really, really comfortable and also kind of uncomfortable because today I'm doing an assumptions video. I did one of these last year, and since then you guys really, really stepped it up and sent me some pretty interesting and difficult to answer assumptions. I felt like this was the perfect video to do because quite a few of you guys are new to my channel, so this is the perfect way to learn something about me, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. So make sure to follow me on Instagram if you want to be a part of the next video like this that I do, but let's just get into it. I would say let's start easy, but none of these are particularly easy to answer, so I guess we'll just dive into it. The first of which is, I assume that you had plans for your life for a long time and they have now all changed because of COVID. I think that this is true and false. I mean, I think COVID definitely just kind of drop kicked everybody on their ass because that's what a global pandemic does. It screws things up, obviously, but I have never really been much of a 5-year plan person or a 10-year plan person. I try not to set deadlines for myself because I think that often leads to you getting let down. And honestly, all of the same goals and aspirations and plans that I had for myself pre-COVID, I still have for myself now. They've just been delayed a little bit, but that's okay. That's just life. I assume that you worry people don't like you when you first meet them. Interestingly enough, it's actually the opposite for me. I'm such a people person that when I walk into a new social setting, that's not necessarily something that I worry about. It's not like I assume automatically that everyone likes me. That's not the case, but I do know that I make a good first impression. My insecurity comes in once I'm actually friends with people because I've had my fair share of friendship breakups, as I'm sure a lot of people have, and that has left me with this weird insecurity that my friends one day are just gonna decide that they don't want to be my friend anymore, and anytime I have a small argument with a friend, I fear that that's the end of the friendship as a whole, and that's something that I've worked through so much, especially in the past few years, and at the end of the day, I just believe quality over quantity, but I've been blessed with a very large support system of really, really great quality people, and I'm just so grateful. I assume that you get offended easily. This is super interesting. As of right now, at this point in my life, I would say that that's false. I've developed a very, very thick skin. However, when I was younger, I got offended over everything. I would cry at the drop of a hat. It was ridiculous. I know my parents are watching this right now and laughing at me because it's who I was, and especially going to college, I snapped out of that real quick, but I definitely used to get offended way too often, and now I've just kind of learned to brush things off, and I've realized that if anyone is talking shit about you or saying mean things to you, it's usually just them projecting, and it says more about them and their insecurities rather than me. I assume that you are lonely. I can't really tell what this is referring to. I mean, part of me thinks it's referring to the fact that we're in a global pandemic and we can't surround ourselves with as many people as normal, but it also could be referring to the fact that I'm single. In both senses, I would have to say no, I'm not lonely. Like I said earlier, I am blessed with a very, very large support system of people that I know genuinely care about me, and I will say that I was probably a little lonely back in March. That was a very sad time in my life, but we have made it out of there, and I'm feeling very loved, and I think I'm surrounded by a lot of good people. So no, I'm not lonely. I assume that you care about what others think about you constantly. Yes and no. I think to a certain extent, everybody cares about what others think about them. I think if you say you're totally unfazed, you're kind of lying to yourself, but I can honestly say that I am the most confident I've ever been in myself and my abilities right now. I definitely could not say the same about me in high school. I had a lot of shit to work on with my overall appearance, and I've come a long way, I will say. I was absolutely a late bloomer. I think that was another assumption, to be honest. Someone assumed that I was a late bloomer, and that's like the definition of me. Wow. Definitely came into my own in college, but high school was a long, bumpy road. I assume that you really don't deserve the low activity on your channel. I would have to agree with this one. I don't think that I deserve 1 million subscribers by any means. I know that there are people who have full production teams and push out videos that are a lot more intricate than mine, but I do know that I work really freaking hard and I give my all into filming and editing and, more than anything, fostering relationships with you guys. And at the end of the day, that's what's most important when it comes to growing an audience. But I'm also not gonna sit here and complain about not having like 100,000 subscribers when I have 61,000 of you that are so incredible. So yeah, I guess I agree, but I'm also really happy with what I have. I assume that you are a Virgo, Taurus, or Scorpio. If you guys are into zodiac signs, we're gonna play a little game. I want you to pause this video right now and comment down below what you think my zodiac sign is. I'm gonna answer it in a few minutes, and I'm just curious to see if any of you guys get it right. I assume that you've always had an easy time making friends and being social. This is absolutely true. I am such an extrovert, maybe too much for my own good. My friends always make fun of me, but whenever I'm at the bar, at school, I'm never one of those people that sticks with one set group. I'm always bouncing around and talking to people and making new friends. It just makes me so happy. And I also think I'm a good person to throw into random social situations because I can pretty much always hold my own and have conversations with pretty much anyone. It's definitely something that I pride myself on. I got this one quite a bit. A lot of you guys assume that I can't actually speak Spanish, which I guess is kind of fair because when you say that you can do something but you don't actually show that you can do it, people assume that you're lying. So let's just get this out of the way. Sí, puedo hablar español. Hablo español desde que era un bebé, pero mi gramática no es tan perfecta. And because of that, me pongo un poquito nerviosa. I've been speaking Spanish since I was really little. My mom's entire side of the family is from La República Dominicana, and I also studied abroad in Spain for 6 months. So it just goes to show you that it's kind of just a part of me. Interesting. I assume that you have a ton of girlfriends and low-key no guy friends. This is incorrect. I pretty much only show my girlfriends on my YouTube channel because they're all really comfortable with being on camera and they enjoy being a part of this with me, but my guy friends are not. They have told me that they feel kind of uncomfortable being on camera, and that's totally okay. I'm not gonna make anybody feel uncomfortable with my YouTube channel, but I do have a really good group of guy friends from school who I still keep in contact with quite often. They're great guys. They've just never been on my channel before. I got this one the most often, and it's pretty much anything along the lines of you're rich, your family's wealthy, you have a lot of money, etc. I definitely grew up comfortably. There is no doubt about that, and I'm so incredibly grateful for my upbringing. My parents are two of the most hardworking people I think I'll ever meet in my entire life, and just being able to grow up watching such strong work ethic across the board has been so inspiring for me. My mom, ever since having my brother and I, has continuously moved up the ladder in her industry, and it's just so fucking cool to see how like you can get older and be able to have something that you're just so passionate about in your adult life. So it's just something that I'm very, very grateful for, beyond being able to go on vacations and have a beautiful summer house, which of course is just such a luxury, and it's something that I am grateful for every day. I'm more grateful for the example that my parents have been able to set for me my entire life, because it's definitely made me the person that I am today. I assume that you'd rather stay in and watch Netflix rather than going out to a party. This is 100% false. I have said this before in the video, but I'm just such a people person where I love taking advantage of any opportunity to talk to people that I can. And it's interesting because my zodiac sign is a Cancer, and Cancers often get the reputation of being little hermits, little crabs, and always wanting to stay home and are slightly antisocial, and that's definitely not something that I've ever been able to identify with because I am the exact opposite. Oh God. All right, here we go. Another one that I got more often than I ever imagined it. And I didn't even know that people thought this, but anyway, here we go. I assume that you got a boob job. You definitely got a boob job. You were really insecure before you got a boob job, and now you're more confident than ever. Guys, I never got a boob job. I don't know where people got this, but I'm gonna take it as a compliment because that clearly means I'm doing something right. However, I can't say that I've never gotten plastic surgery, but that's gonna be a conversation for another video. I assume that you've never worked a day in your life. I am proud to say that that is 100% false. I've had paid internships for the past 3 summers working at top advertising agencies in New York City, and on top of that, I've had this YouTube channel as a paid job, which still is super freaking weird to me that it's a job, but it is, and I've been doing this for the past 7 years. So I have definitely worked multiple days in my life. I assume that you're a really fun drunk. I think so. I think I'm a lot of fun when I'm drunk. I'm definitely a very, very happy drunk, and I love to dance when I'm sober, so when I'm drunk it amplifies by like 1,000. I assume that you tried smoking weed, but you didn't like it. This is very true. I had a less than good experience smoking weed, and ever since then, I've just said it's not for me. Obviously, no judgment to anyone who does. I literally could not give less of a shit. However, I'm gonna stick to drinking. I assume that you want to be blonde. I'm just gonna leave this picture right here of when I was Elle Woods and Legally Blonde and let you decide, because that wig was enough to traumatize me for life, and I will never go blonde. All right, I think that's where I'm gonna call it. I talked about quite a few things in this video that I honestly never thought I would talk about online, and it feels kind of liberating. I feel great. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was definitely a lot more candid than some of my other ones, and I think it was the perfect way to learn a little bit more about me. So make sure to let me know all of your thoughts down below. I have a feeling you're gonna have a lot of them, and I'll talk to you guys very soon in my next video.